Okay, good afternoon. This is Global Communication 1. This is the makeup class for section 24. Right now, it's just about 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, May the 19th. I hope everyone is outside enjoying the festival while I am in here recording a makeup lecture for you. Today's class is actually supposed to have a number of sort of conversation activities. So today, I'm just going to be giving you the concepts that you need to understand and be ready for our next class, which will be next Wednesday. So very quickly, for homework, I asked you to read, not sure how well you can see that there. I asked you to read Feed Projects, How a Bag Can Feed Children in Many Ways. I'm just going to read it very quickly. So if you have read it already, this will be a little bit of a review. And if you haven't read it because you didn't do your homework, well, then you know who you are. All right. So Feed Projects, How a Bag Can Feed Children in Many Ways. In 2004, when Lauren Bush Lauren was in college, she was a volunteer for the UN World Food Program. This gave her the opportunity to travel to various countries around the world. She traveled to countries like Chad in Africa and Guatemala in Central America. In her travels, she saw firsthand the hunger that exists in many parts of the world. More significantly, she saw how hunger affects children. She also saw how important a school lunch was to these children. And she told a reporter for Forbes magazine, a free school meal not only nourishes a child, but it provides them a reason to go to school. They stay in school longer, they go to school every day, and this means opportunity for equal education and better job prospects. While traveling with the World Food Program, I've witnessed how the school lunch is truly a community event. The mothers who come to help prepare the meal are also able to eat, as well as other children who are not yet school-aged. Bush Lauren was affected by what she had seen, and she wanted to do something to help. After graduating from college in 2005, she kept thinking about how she could help those children. Always interested in fashion and design, she came up with a way to combine her interests in design and her desire to help feed hungry children. She would create a bag to raise money for feeding the hungry. At that time, reusable bags were becoming popular. Bush Lauren realized that if she designed a bag that could be reused, people might be interested in buying it. They might be more interested if they knew that their purchase would help feed hungry children. She partnered with Ellen Gustafsson, who worked for the World Food Program at the time, and in 2007, Feed Projects was born. The first bag was made of all natural products and looked similar to the bags that the UN had used to distribute food. It also had the number 1 on it. That number signified 1 year of school lunches a child would receive from that purchase. Feed worked with the World Food Program to distribute the meals to children in schools, and consumers knew that their purchase of the bag meant that a child would receive a meal every day for a year. This was the first of many bags in the social business Feed. The bags became very popular and the company grew. Bush Lauren continued to design more bags with numbers on them, signifying the number of school lunches that would be provided for each bag purchased. A percentage of the retail price of the bags sold is spent on feeding the hungry. The money then goes to organizations like the WFP to distribute the meals. The impact of feeding the hungry is very powerful. Today, over 795 million people are affected by hunger all over the world. And it has been shown that when children are given a nutritious meal, they perform better in school. Their education improves, giving them a better chance of improving their lives. Providing nutrition providing nutrition improves not only the child's education, but also their overall health. Malnutrition, or not getting the right nutrition to meet your body's needs, is a major cause of disease and illness globally. By providing a child with one meal a day, malnutrition is greatly reduced. It should also be noted that hunger is not just a problem in developing countries. It's also a problem in the developing world. It's also a problem in the United States, where it is estimated that 42 million people lack food. In 2013, Feed started a program with the organization Feeding America to provide nutritious school lunches to children in poor communities in the United States. Feed has continued to expand and grow. Today, the company produces many different bags in different materials. Their products also include jewelry and scarves, and many of these products are made by local artisans, thus providing employment for people in those countries. Currently, Feed provides meals in 63 countries, in Africa and Central America, as well as the United States. In 2017, the first Feed cafe and shop, it's a cafe too, opened in Brooklyn, New York. As of 2018, Feed had provided more than 100 million lunches to children. The problem of world hunger cannot be solved overnight, but Feed has taken small but noticeable steps. As Bush-Lauren said, global hunger can seem like a massive problem. But I started Feed because I hoped that by providing people with a way to make a difference, they would be able to better understand the problem and participate in the solution. I've learned that people want to get involved. They just aren't always sure where to begin. And through Feed, she has given them a way to start. Okay, so that was the article that I asked you to read for homework. I also asked you to complete exercises B, C, and D on pages 162, 163, and 164. If you have not completed those exercises yet, please do them before the beginning of our next class. They're quite simple. Exercise B, you just need to match the definition with the correct word from the article. Exercise C, you're just writing the paragraph number of each main idea. And exercise D is a simple true and false exercise. So it shouldn't be too hard to do. Okay, now you might wonder what that article has to do with today's class. Well, today I want to talk about cause and effect. It's going to be today's topic. I want to talk a little bit about the language that you can use to describe cause and effect. And I think Bush-Lauren is a good example of somebody who saw how a school meal, in this case, the school meal is the cause, can have a number of positive benefits or effects on a child's life. Okay, so let me just quickly bring this up. Okay, here we are. So let's talk a little bit about cause and effect. In this case, beginning with Bush-Lauren. So what happened as a result of Lauren volunteering for the United Nations World Food Program? Well, if you take a look in the article, it says, as a result of volunteering for the World Food Program, she had the opportunity to travel to different countries in the world. For example, Chad in Africa and Guatemala in Central America. So we've got a very simple cause and effect relationship. Volunteering for the World Food Program, the United Nations World Food Program, resulted in her traveling to different countries. And by traveling to different countries, she was able to see the poverty there. That's another cause and effect. And then by seeing the poverty in these countries, as a result of that, consequently, she wanted to do something about it. At the time, reusable bags or eco bags were becoming quite popular. And she thought maybe people would be interested in buying these bags if they felt that it could help poor children in developing countries. As for some of the positive effects of a nutritious meal for children, the article talks about a few of them. If students receive a nutritious meal, well, first of all, they're going to study more effectively at school, so their education, the quality of their education will improve. But also, children are more likely to stay in school longer, go every day, and also this becomes a community event too. You get the parents, especially the mothers, coming in to help prepare the food. So there are some really positive effects for children. They go to school, they're more likely to go to school every day. They're going to stay in school longer. They're going to learn more because they've got food in their stomach. There are some really positive effects. Now, beyond just Bush Lauren's case, I think a lot of people want to be able to discuss cause and effect, because if something good is happening, people want to know why something good is happening so they can get more of it. And if something has negative effects, they want to do less of it, or maybe find out why something bad is happening. Maybe they can blame somebody. Just to give you a couple of examples, if you want to be healthy, let's say you take a look at someone and they are in really good health, and you think to yourself, wow, I would like to be in really good health just like that person. Well, what have they done in order to be so healthy? Maybe they exercise regularly. Maybe they get enough sleep. Maybe they have a very balanced diet. And these three things contribute to their good health. On the other hand, something like global warming or global climate change, people would like to know what causes global warming or climate change so that they can stop it or slow it down. There are many reasons why we want to know about cause and effect. Increase positive effects, reduce the negative ones. But we don't always know what causes what. Sometimes it's not easy to know whether something causes something or whether it is caused by something, or maybe it is just correlated with something else. Are you confused? Maybe you don't know what I mean? Okay, I'll explain. Moving on here. Here we go. So I don't know what that. Yeah. For example, people want to know, does A cause B? Does smoking cause cancer? Or does B cause A? Maybe it's not that something causes something else. Maybe what you think is the effect is actually the cause. Or maybe it's not one thing that causes the effect. Maybe there are several causes, A1, A2, A3, and they all contribute to B. Or maybe a very strong cause can actually have several different effects, B1, B2, and B3. When we look at cause and effect, we're generally looking at two different types of correlation. These are called positive and negative, or inverse correlation. Positive correlation, this is when an increase in one thing is associated with an increase in something else. For example, when the weather gets warmer, as the weather gets warmer, sales of ice cream also increase. And you could say because the weather gets warmer, people buy more ice cream, therefore sales of ice cream also increase. That's a positive correlation. But on the other hand, there could be a negative correlation. That means the more something happens, the less something else happens. Let's say, for example, the university hires more security guards. And as a result, there are less cases of crime, I don't know, stolen cars or something on campus. In that case, an increase in security, and then we have a corresponding decrease in crime. That would be an inverse correlation. As A increases, B decreases. That's a negative or inverse correlation. Now, let's take a look at some language for how you can describe cause and effect. Okay, here we go. So you can actually have two sentences, like a pair of sentences that show a simple cause and effect relationship. You might start with the cause. She made a big mistake. As a result, she lost her job. He studied hard for the exam. Therefore, he got an A+. It rained heavily. Consequently, the game was canceled. Or you might start a sentence with the effect. She was very tired as a result of working late. So the effect is at the beginning. It's the subject. She was very tired. Why? She worked late. So working late is actually the cause. Being very tired is the effect. I missed class due to the illness. The illness is the cause. Missing class is the effect. They can't go to the theater because it's too late. So they can't go to the theater. That's the effect. And then having the cause in the second half because it's too late. So you can see, you can start a sentence. You can start these sentences with the cause, or you can start them with the effect. Now, if you're going to have a sentence that, not two sentences, but having the cause and effect in a single sentence, there is some language you can use there too. So A causes B. Alcohol is responsible for many traffic accidents, or air pollution contributes to global climate change, or smoking causes cancer. In this case, the cause is the subject. Alcohol is the cause, and it's responsible for many traffic accidents. Alcohol directly causes those accidents. Air pollution contributes to global climate change. Contributes to, it's not the only thing. Air pollution and a number of other factors contribute to. So A1, A2, and A3, A4 contribute to global climate change. Or smoking causes cancer, A causes B. So that's when the cause is the subject. But what about when the effect is the subject? What if you want to start the sentence with the effect? In that case, you could say, for example, Sylvia's good health is due to her excellent eating habits. Her excellent eating habits are the cause, but we start the sentence with the effect, her good health. Or maybe it's not just her excellent eating habits that result in her good health. Maybe she also gets enough sleep and she has a very regular exercise routine. In that case, Sylvia's good health is due in part to her good eating habits. Likewise, the hotel fire was caused by an electrical problem. In that case, we have the cause, the electrical problem, and the effect, that was the hotel fire. But there's a single cause and a single effect. However, if there was more than one reason why the hotel had a fire, maybe the electrical problem was just one of several problems. In that case, the hotel fire was partially caused by an electrical problem. So you could have sentences with the cause as the subject, or sentences with the effect as the subject. So as I said before, people want to know, does A cause B? Does B cause A? Or maybe is there something else that causes both A and B? In that case, that could be C, and I'll show you an example of that in just a moment. There's been a lot of research into students' performance in the classroom, what makes students study well or get better grades. And some of the research indicates that students who sit near the front of the classroom get better grades than students who sit toward the back of the classroom. Now, in a regular class, I would divide you into groups and I would like you to talk with your partners about this. I'd say, okay, do you agree or disagree that students who sit near the front of the classroom get better grades than those who sit near the back? Is it a cause-effect relationship? Is it A causes B? Sitting near the front results in better grades. Or is it B causes A? Students who get better grades sit at the front of the class. Or maybe is it C? Maybe C causes A and B. For example, maybe students who are interested in the class will sit near the front because they're interested. And because they're interested, they also get better grades. In that case, it's not A causes B, it's not B causing A, it's something else. It's C, the interest, and that causes both A and B. So, yeah, if we were having a regular class right now, I would ask you to either agree with the conclusion or disagree. Okay, do you think that it's A causes B? Or do you think, no, it's B causes A? Or do you think it's C causing A and B? We're going to be doing some similar activities next Wednesday. So although I'm not going to give a homework assignment based on this, please be familiar with it when you come into class on Wednesday. Next, a second activity that I did with students regarding this was I gave students in groups a few different topics. I said, okay, in your groups with your partners, choose 2 of these topics, like part-time jobs, exercising, falling in love, failing a class, or playing video games. And I asked students to create either paired sentences, for example, A, consequently B, so 2 sentences together, describing cause and effect relationships for part-time jobs, exercising, falling in love, failing a class, or playing video games, or to have a single sentence relating to cause and effect, like her lack of money was due to getting fired from her part-time job, something like that. So I asked students to write sentences or pairs of sentences that showed cause and effect relationships based off of these topics. Then I asked students to choose new topics, and then they would brainstorm their own sentences. Okay, I'm just about finished, so I'll just wrap up by saying, in our next class, we are going to look at cause and effect essays. I'm actually giving you a cause and effect essay to read for homework too. Cause and effect essays, they analyze the causes and the effects of a situation. And the example that I'm going to give you, this is on page 169, I believe it is. Oh, no, it's not. I don't want to be called a liar. Page 179, sorry. On page 179, which you can't see it very well here. There is a short model essay, a short model cause and effect essay, and it's about the effects of owning a pair of shoes. There are many children that don't have a pair of shoes, and if you do own a pair of shoes, or if you don't own a pair of shoes, that can have a lot of effects, positive or negative, on children's health, their education, and also their self-confidence, their well-being, their self-esteem. So in the introduction to a cause and effect essay, we learn about an event or situation, gives us a little background to the issue, and then we get the thesis statement, which will tell us exactly what the cause and effect is. And then in the body, we have a number of paragraphs, maybe body paragraph 1, 2, and 3, and each one will look at a separate cause or a separate effect and provide supporting information. Each paragraph will contain a main point and at least 2 examples or details. And I think that the essay here in the book does a very good job of talking about how owning a pair of shoes has 3 very concrete effects on a child's health, education, and well-being. We get some really good examples and details. Then in the conclusion, the writer will restate the main idea and offer a final thought, and then summarize the causes and effects at the very end of the essay. So for homework today, I would like you to read the cause and effect essay on page 179. It starts off by talking about Blake Mycoskie, who is the founder and CEO of Tom's Shoes. Tom's Shoes, in case you don't know, they are a for-profit company. They're not a charity. And what they do is when you buy a pair of shoes from Tom's Shoes, they donate a second pair to a poor child in a village in a developing country somewhere. So the shoes are a little bit more expensive, but you're actually buying 2 pairs of shoes. And it's an interesting essay. We'll talk about it a little bit on Wednesday. Also, please complete questions 1 through 8. These are just questions about the essay's contents. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes or so to complete that. All right, well, I am finished now, so I hope everybody is enjoying the festival outside. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Okay, bye-bye.